What? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ganabelt was so horrible to people, yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Danans?
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed, the effects of Lenegis' transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way, this area was simply luckier.
Pardon me.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right, too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Okay.
Seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganeth Haros changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary, remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Rena, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you. Because we're threats to Rena.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of this?
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the Lords were all people, too. Balsif and the others, they all had their own circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. They were individuals, just like the rest of us. So I guess what I'm trying to say is...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters. Even if they did terrible things, they were still just people.
Rinwell.
Am I wrong?
Not at all.
Being a Danan doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you a bad one. I think that's something we've all seen.
Shion and Dohalim definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust. As a fellow human being above all else.
There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfried Milgras, the former lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfried whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegis?
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegis from the motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renin by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
Doe?
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
But why are you here? Wait, don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dana already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still... Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, You mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
Wow, this place is beautiful!
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renin sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnigan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnigan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnagan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagan and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagan had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagan was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less, she would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty, instead I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right. Alphen.
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
You can never be too prepared. But did we have to spend so much?
This came out so good, I almost hate having to eat it.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Damn it! Lenegis soldiers!
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
Ho! I am Lord Dohalim of Elden Menencia. I command you.
Threat to the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one.
Flaming meteor!
Release! It's almost too strong.
Split it open!
Be my guest. Dragon Swarm! Burn!
Damn it!
No cause for retreat. Vacuum blade! I have no limits! Transform!
Damn it! You're mine!
Vacuum blade! Vacuum blade!
The enemy wields arts too.
We'll soon see about that.
Vacuum blade! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! No chance! Take it! Rinwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
No! We're not finished! I'm not done! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
Here goes!
Lightning orbs!
Here I come!
Bathed in blood.
Can't get out of this! Your reflexes will not serve you well here.
The flames will roar!
Sword Rain Alpha! Sword Rain Alpha! Eagle Dive! Take this! Bloody Holland! Sword Rain Alpha! Dragon Form! Cure! Try harder! My turn! I'm not done! I'm on it! Sword Rain Alpha! Snaring to me! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
My turn!
Oh, violent
I'm not done! Transform! No further!
In here! This one's mine! More for the stockpile!
Breath of life! Heal my weary companion!
I'm ready!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
Not a
Can
chance!
you take it?
I'm not done! Dragon Swarm! Sword Rain Alpha!
I'll smash you! It's time! Eat
You're
this!
finished!
I'm just getting started! Pile time!
Right now!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Cross!
I know fine weapon material when I see it.
Coming through! Eat this!
Strike!
Begin! Does it hurt?
The waters
on
of
the wind!
creation!
Void Flash!
I'm on a roll now!
As if the normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting
Feel my
enough.
weary companion!
Kill!
Whirlwind snap!
Take
I'll
this!
be saving this one!
I'm not done!
Take this!
Big
Like
Blast!
extra energy!
Burn!
More where that came from!
Take this!
Thunderblade!
Now I'm in the groove!
Heaven and earth!
Anything in order to
Sword
go
Alpha!
A wailing BANDAI
That's
of
not
lightning!
Devastation!
In here!
That's enough!
Take this!
I'll be saving this
Heal
one!
my weary companion!
Crush!
Lost my cure!
Eternal Devastation!
Nail struck! I can do this all day!
Blazing flame!
Dragon Swarm!
Swallow dance!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Now I'm in the groove!
Lightning
Eternal
orb!
Devastation! Try harder! Not a
Lightning
chance!
orb!
Away!
Thunderblade! A chain between
No
heaven and
further!
earth! A wailing
Here I
BANDAI of
come!
lightning!
See what I can do!
Sword Rain Alpha! Lightning
A
Thrust!
whirling
Take
struggle!
this!
Elusive deity!
Winds of
See what
heaven!
happened there as you crossed me! I'll
Big
face you
shield!
done
In
that!
here!
Soaring blast!
Take this! I'm not done!
I'm on Eagle Ray!
Void Flash!
Sword!
Thunderblade!
Strike!
Too much to handle?
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
You're mine!
Swallow dance!
Sword! Chinese supernova fist!
Lightning Thrust!
Hard to level it!
Take this!
Like waters of creation!
Eternal Devastation!
Dance immortal droplet!
Take this! Strike!
Thank you!
Hard malevolent!
Shattering!
In here!
Attack time! Heal!
Strike!
A chain between heaven and earth!
Rising
I'll
Falcon!
smash you!
A
You're
wailing
mine!
BANDAI of lightning!
I'm not done!
Can't get out of this!
Try harder! My turn!
Surprise! I
I'm
can
not
use
done!
something special!
Crumble!
A whirling
Sword Rain
struggle!
Alpha!
Inspiration!
Winds of
Try
heaven!
harder!
President!
Not a chance! No escape!
I'm on
No escape! Dragon Swarm!
Leave the chargers to me! Watch this!
I have no limits! Dragon Swarm!
I'm ready! Kisara! All yours, Kisara! Step back! This one's all law!
No choice!
Engaging! Waters of creation! I'm ready for
thank you.
immortal droplet! Not on my watch!
Punch that gun out of your hand!
I see what
Force Flash!
Heal!
Strike!
Whirlwind snap!
Rising Falcon!
Stars of light!
Not
Rain
today!
down and purify
That
us!
freaking does it!
Too fast!
Stand back! I'll trip it out! Shattering the pieces!
I'm not done!
Attack time!
Dragon Swarm!
Meteor storm!
I'll grind you with a shot! Eat this!
Dance immortal droplet!
Fire support!
Galaxy!
Smash you!
You're mine! No escape! Take this! No escape!
Heal my weary companion!
Rising Falcon!
Freaking does it!
Here I come!
Swallow dance!
Seal!
An astral voice!
That's my cue!
Force Flash! Shut him down!
Freaking does it!
Rising
Bloody
Falcon! Dragon Swarm!
Hey! Blow them away!
Now! Take this! Sword Rain Alpha! Dazzle! Strike! Soaring
Now!
Light Sphere! Totally! In an instant! Impact Claw! Now! Soaring Light Sphere! The flare inside me yearns to be let free!
Blazing blade!
I'll be saving this one!
Inspiration!
Living Thrust! Soaring Light Sphere! Rising
it's over!
Armor won't save you!
Now!
Rinwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
No choice!
You've got spirit!
Not on my watch! Violent guarding wing! Magic is down on the ground! Sleep now!
Super Swallow Dance!
Is it too late to talk over our differences?
Now you'll learn!
Sleep now!
You're done! Shattering to pieces! Inferno Punch!
Primed and ready!
Now you see what I can do!
More with that
I'm on it!
down on the
Groundbreaking does it! Heal my wearied companion! Take this! I'll run you through! Super Swallow Dance!
Winds of heaven! First force!
I'm ready! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous Claw! Unlocking Swarm! Come and get it! Super Swallow Dance!
Rinwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
I'm on a roll now! You're done! I'm ready!
Creation!
Don't live! Take! Blow them away!
I'm ready for the next battle!
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Is someone making them stand guard over the Forbidden Zone?
Gotta break through!
Tectonic Blade!
Here's the first malevolence!
Talon Hurricane!
Double
Demon Fang!
In here!
Demon
Go!
Fang!
Flame
Time to cross
Main
blade!
One. Come forth and heal its security!
That's enough!
I owe you one!
Maelstrom!
Super Swallow Dance!
You're on!
Ready and transform!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Benediction.
Here I come!
Talon Hurricane! Now you see what I can do!
Winds of heaven!
Come on a roll now! Glimmer Dragon! Rip and tear!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Talon Hurricane!
Benediction
Sleep
light.
now!
Death Blossom! Heal!
I'll be saving this
Demon
one!
Fang!
The waters of creation!
Demon Talon Hurricane!
Dance, immortal Goblin!
No further!
Eat this!
Tidal wave! That'll bring you down! Now
Plus Talon Hurricane!
Magic is them!
Benediction
Here!
light.
Blow away!
I'll be saving this one!
Demon Fang!
I'll end
Double
you!
Demon Fang!
Anything in armor is all mine!
Destruction! Eternal Demon! I'll burn it all! Flaming Pillar! Fire!
Elusive Beam!
Sonic Thrust! Sword Rain
Soaring
Alpha!
Blast! Coming down!
Where would that came from?
Talon Hurricane! Heal my weary companion!
In here!
You're mine! Watch this!
More for
Sword
the
Rain
I'm on
Alpha! Blow away!
Take this!
Eternal Devastation!
I'm on it!
Stay away from my
Come and get
friends!
it!
Chinese Supernova!
Glimmer
Where would that
Dragon!
came from?
I have no limits!
Eat this!
Severing Blade! You're done! Lunar Longo! Blazing Phoenix!
Super Swallow Dance!
More for the
Come and get it!
You're mine!
First strike!
I'm not done!
Tidal wave! Mine!
Pierce through! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Here I come! Demon Fang! This one's mine!
Rain down and purify!
Talon Hurricane!
Double
Glimmer
Demon
Dragon!
Fang!
Come on, I'm ready! Inferno
Demon
Now!
Fang!
Elvis!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
We may be... Be a touch beyond our depth.
We barely got a look at the thing.
An opponent like this should be easy.
No further! You're mine!
In here!
First strike!
I'll be saving this way! These ones can run rings around us!
I'll find you with the shot! Rising Wyvern! They smite with blackened blade! Dragon Sword! Swallow Dance! Here I come! First strike! Air pressure! I'm on it! Come and get it! Demon time!
I'm on a roll!
Come and get it! I'll smash you!
Let the marksman handle this!
This is looking good! That's enough! Eat this!
Lightning orb!
I'm on
Waters
it!
of creation!
Come and get it! Breath of life!
Heal
I have no limits!
That'll bring you down!
And more than I'll burn out! I'm on it!
Oh, saving this one!
Warning Alpha! Eagle Ring! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! I'm on it! You're done! Get in the wind! Take this! I'm on it! That's enough!
Sweet now!
I won't give in!
I'm on a roll! Super swallow
Yes! First right! Almost! Too slow! That's enough! Rising Swallow! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous Claw! I'm on a roll now! Come and get it! Inferno Punch! Burn! You're mine! Can you take it? Elucidate here! You're on! Dragon Swarm! I'm ready!
Lightning!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
What is it, Hoodle? You want to go back?
Animal intuition, perhaps?
Coming through!
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Rising Wyvern! I'm on it!
Your dreams!
That's enough! First strike!
Lightning!
Showdown between blade and fist! Too slow! Prepare to be sealed! You're done! Super Swallow Dance! Summer Sea Defense! First strike! In a bind? You're mine! First strike! That's enough! Swallow Blade! Heal my weary companion! Fire support! Here! Watch it! Dance for the wind! I'll burn it all! Flaming Pillar! Fire! Be still! I'm on it! Rising Kraken! In a bind?
First force!
I'm on it! Damn it! You're done! Heal my my wearied companion! Sure! Ribbon time just getting started! I'll end you! Heal my wearied companion! So fine not too long ago! I'm on it! Armor won't save you! Can you take it? Elusive deity! Super swallow dead! Alpha! Look sharp! Lightning tiger blade!
I've been doing really great lately.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
For my lord!
I'm on it. No shield can stand up to these fists. I'm on it. Heal. Eat this. Fire support. Far enough. Come and get it. Watch this. Bloody hell. You're done. First miss him. First strike. Come and get it. No further. Pieces. Attack time. I'll end you!
We're not finished!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Super swallow dead! Yes, let the mark You're my wearied companion!
Sleep now.
Inspiration! I could do this all day! First strike! Heal my wearied companion! First strike! That's enough!
I'm on it.
Super swallow dead! I'm on it! I'll end you! Demon rat! I'll finish you here now! Demons descend! Flashing fang!
Lightning condemned!
Too slow! I'll run you through! Super swallow dead! Ribbon tear!
How much longer will our healing arts last? This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Danon. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice.
Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Danon astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegis. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.